Oh boy, I hope I can get this in time for the update, I guess. Hey, I'm Aroma and this is Scarlet. And uh I want to make a video on the upcoming patch notes, specifically the weapon balance changes. Uh Not exactly the other content. I I do like what they're adding. There's weapons, there's a couple new maps. Big run. Big run is happening. We get it. Big run is imminent. It's up. It's coming. It's also like really late. You can see the update will happen later today. So I want to get this done now, and maybe if I'm too late, I can do some comparison footage. I don't know yet. We'll see what this will be, and I'll throw in my opinions on the weapons, because some of these weapons and maybe some of these specials I actually use. And then there's Tri-Stringer, and I don't touch that one. I use Reflux, as you may have seen in the YouTube short. That was a joke, by the way. That short was supposed to be a joke. I don't know how anyone hated it. So let me just move my mic closer to me for no fucking reason. Tri-Stringer. The size of terrain area inked by falling spray has been increased, and the number of spray droplets generated when firing a distantly aimed shot has been increased. So basically, it'll cover the ground more. This is definitely something really helpful for anyone using Tri-Stringer, because, I don't know, I don't see a lot of Tri-Stringer being used, and when I do, they're a complete liability to the team. That is just in my experience. Uh, Sorry to preface this, but I'm not S plus. I do play ranked, but I am S ranked, and the decay is probably going to drop off anyway. So I'm probably going to be A minus by the time this video is up. Splatoon Wiper, the width of the ink launched by horizontal slashes has been increased by about 27%. Why is it typed like that? About 27%. You know the values. Why can't you, if it's a decimal point, add the decimal. If it's exactly 27%, have it 27%. Why does it say about 27%? It'll be probably noticeable. The size of terrain area inked by falling spray has been increased, and it is easier to connect ink in an uninterrupted straight line. So basically, Wiper will be easier to. It will also be easier to cover ground with. That's what I'm getting from this, but it's definitely going to be a small but noticeable change, because neither of these weapons are bad, in my opinion. I don't think Wiper's bad. The Ultra Stamp buff definitely helped it, because Ultra Stamp got buffed out the ass. It's so annoying to kill now. You can kill it. It's just a little bit more annoying now. That's it for the main weapons. They did nothing else to any other main weapon. Not Splash-O-Matic, not Octobrush. I have a personal grudge against Octobrush. No Splatlings or anything like that. Pretty much to say that most of the other main weapons are fine the way they are. Most of them are just unchanged from previous games anyway. Most of them. That's a rant for another day. Sub-weapons. Angle shooter. They only changed angle shooter. This is the least used special ever. Not special. The least used sub weapon. Like, no one uses this. I think people just either avoid it or they just don't use it. Splash wall. I was about to say splat wall. Splash wall was used more than this. Angle shooter. Initial velocity is about 20% faster. About again. 50% faster and flight range has been extended. So basically, it it moves further. It moves further, and I guess what they mean by flight range is the marker range. Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be further and faster. I don't know how to use angle shooter. No one fucking uses this. If anyone tells you they use angle shooter, they're a fucking liar. Oh, they just made Splattershot Pro. And if they tell you they made Splattershot Pro, tell them they're a fucking liar. They made Crab Tank. Yeah, all that is gonna be it's gonna be further and faster. That's a good change for angle shooter because no one can't really say no one uses it. But I personally don't see it a lot. And when it's used, I kind of just forget it exists. Didn't really change the damage on it, so it'll still just be angle shooter. Don't know if this will change the viability of it or anything like that, but who knows? Now for specials. Speaking of Zipcaster, ink consumption when using a main weapon while the Zipcaster is active has been decreased to about 67% of previous. This is really good. This is really good for Zipcaster, especially because of Slosher Deco. And I know people hate the loadout. Well, at least on Twitter, people hate the loadout, but I personally like it. I don't think it's really that bad. Zipcaster is actually a really good special if you wanna. You just really need to get to the back line as quick as possible. The opponent's back line, not your back line. While you're retreating, move up. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good for just repositioning, trying to go in for the kill as quick as you can, and even if you somehow fall off the map, you can return back easily. It's really nice. I don't think Zipcaster's that bad, but you know, it's not. I don't think it's the worst special in the world. Inkback. Damage of the return shot has been increased from 120 to 220. Basically, it breaks armor now because it already one-shots. It already one-shots you without armor, without tactical or changes or anything like that. At a completely normal state, it one-shots you without any changes. And even if you have like ink defense, it'll still kill you. I'm sorry, ink defense, ink resistance. By the yeah, it'll still kill you. This change is intended to increase the damage done to Big Bubbler and Rainmaker shields, and to allow players to defeat opponents armored due to Square Roll or Squid Surge. I did kind of read that before starting this video, so that's basically what it is. Yeah, it breaks all that shit now. This is good for Inkback. However, it's still Inkback. So if you use a Splatana, you have nothing to worry about. Reslider. Damage from the rush attack and from being caught up in the explosion after a short range has been increased from 180, that's a lot actually still, to 220. And it's the same change as Inkback. Basically, wait, no, Reslider already kills a lot of shit. It also has a really nasty AoE, regardless of how far you slide. But okay, it's not a bad change. It's not OP. Reef Sliders is already good. They just made it slightly better. They didn't really change like point requirements or anything for it. We're into the point requirements, so Tentamissiles, the one you've all been waiting for. After launch is confirmed, the special gauge will now slowly decrease, and the special gauge will not be able to begin charging again until the gauge has completely drained from the previous use. I already have a video on, well, I have a lot of footage on Tenta missiles. So, I could put up any old clip. I could even put up footage from Splatoon 2. You wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't notice it at all. You probably would. But Tenta missiles, they added a cooldown to it. So they slowed down the amount of times you can use Tenta missiles significantly. It's basically Inkstorm now. They gave it the same property as Inkstorm, because when you use Inkstorm, your special gauge slowly goes down, and when it fully depletes, the storm is gone. That's how you know when the storm is still out or when it's gone. So they did the same thing for Tenta missiles, but it depends. How slow is the gauge? Is it as slow as Inkstorm, or is it slower than that? Don't know until we see it live. That's a pretty significant change. I'm personally sick of Tenta missiles, and a lot of people are too. It kind of ran the game for a long time. That combined with reflux and people stacking special charge ups, special savers, and just anything related to just special. Like, it helped Tenta missiles a lot, and it also made like the most disgusting team comps you could ever see in Turf War and Ranked. It was bad. It was very, very bad. But maybe it'll be a little bit better. That means people who use Flingza Roller actually have to do something, and people who use Reflux actually have to hold the button now. Yeah, they actually have to do stuff now. I like this change. I welcome it. Now we go for points required for some weapon specials haven't changed. And they didn't. It's not really. The points don't really mean much. Like, none of them do. But it's either like 10 points less or 10 points more. Like E-liter 4K and E-liter 4K scope both have been increased. Now they're 210 from 200. Nozzle nose H3 nozzle nose has been dropped to 190. Disc Filter dropped to 190. Splattershot Pro also dropped to 190. So basically, Crab Tank got an indirect buff. That's really funny. Tacticooler got an indirect buff. Reef Slider got an indirect buff. That's all really funny. And I can only mention some of these specials because I don't really remember not all of them off the top of my head. I don't know what H3 Nozzle Nose's special is. I can kinda remember what E-liter 4K's is, but I can't be sure. I really can't be. I was thinking it's Inkback, but I don't think that's right. Dip Squelcher, don't know. I don't see his weapon a lot, honestly. I know Aerospace is Reef Slider, because I've used that weapon a lot, and Zap 85 is Tacticooler, I know that. Splattershot Pro is Crab Tank, because, well, you're either seeing a Splattershot Pro or you're seeing a Splash-O-Matic. Pick your poison. Another gameplay change. Undertow Spillway. This is definitely something I need footage for. I can just go to Recon. So they changed the map layout. They changed some parts of the Turf War mode terrain. Just Turf War. They didn't change any of the rank modes. Deleted part of the terrain on the left-hand side when looking from the player's start areas. Basically, when you're at spawn, you look to the left, and it may look a bit different. and they added ramps to allow invading opponent areas. This is so fucked up. I actually can't stand it. This is actually really bad. And when I mean bad, I mean like that's really dangerous. That's a really dangerous change because a lot of the old Splatoon 1 and 2 maps, you can invade the other side. Well, I can't say bad as in like, oh, this is gonna ruin the game or anything. No, I mean bad as in like uh it's really good if you're winning, it's really bad when you're losing. Those ramps made it much harder. And low-key, I'm kind of a fan of that. But I'm not a fan of the map being smaller. What is that about? Undertale Spillway is already small. Thinking off the top of my head, it might be like top 3 smallest maps in the game? Like, just a little bit bigger than my Resort? But not really that much. Both kind of suck. But yeah, I'm a fan of like all audio and visual cues in this game because as someone who's visually impaired, yeah, it can be really helpful. It's always helpful. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like it, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 200 subs by the end of the year. I know it's a very, very hefty goal, but you know, maybe we could reach it. Anyway, thanks for watching.
I can't play the game, but you're Fujin. Stable, you need to behave. Taking A won't save you. You know I'm crazy with the flow when you still losing games cause you can't block low and you can't break throws and you move too slow and you let your rage go, now you really don't know.